I didn't see you there. I'm Dory Zori, and I'm excited to welcome you to 88.9 Radio Milwaukee's Walker's Point Studios. I don't know how much you know about us, so let me start with who we are. Radio Milwaukee is a nonprofit, non-commercial radio station with a mission to use music and stories to create a more inclusive and engaged Milwaukee. We rely on support of people just like you, our members and business partners, to keep us on air, online, and in the community. Radio Milwaukee's license is held by Milwaukee Public Schools, hence our call letters WYMS. The YMS stands for Your Milwaukee Schools. Before the signal sounded like what you hear today, 88.9 FM was a jazz station. We still have our jazz record collection, which you'll see inside. 88.9 Radio Milwaukee launched in 2007 with an innovative new format designed to unite and build community through music and stories. If you've never listened to us, check it out at 88.9 FM. Radio Milwaukee was originally located in the basement of the Milwaukee Public Schools Administration Building on Valete Street, but after struggling with space for our growing staff and accessibility issues, we realized we needed a new home. So, with the help of over 1,700 people, 88.9 raised over $3 million through our Sound Foundation capital campaign, which allowed us to acquire and renovate this building so that we could host you, our community, and serve as a place to convene and connect. Before Radio Milwaukee moved in 2013, 220 East Pittsburgh Avenue was home to many things. The building was first built in 1952 and was home to Ulstrup Tool and Die Corp. There are some remnants of the tool and die shop inside the building, like this crane in our front entryway. You can also see a ghost sign on the west side of our building. Most recently, before we moved in, the building was home to Barclay Art Gallery. We upcycled some pallets and doors that were in the gallery in our second floor office. In 2019, Bayview Printing Company helped us reimagine our entryway. Made with 100-year-old type, this wallpaper contains images and words that speak to who Radio Milwaukee is. The type was hand-set, scanned, and then made into wallpaper. In fact, this lightning radio tower you see behind me is made from a piece of type that is really only 1 inch tall. These scrolls acknowledge our current annual supporters as well as those who donated to our capital campaign. All right, let's head inside. Okay, this is the Tactical Operations Center, but we just call it the rack room. And it's the most important part of the building because the equipment in there allows us to be on the air. The machines send our signal to where a radio tower is located on Capitol Drive. Welcome to Studio A, where the on-air magic happens. Midday host Marcus Doucette is rocking the mic right now. These computers hold our digital library of songs and tell Marcus what songs, community stories, and underwriting messages are coming up. He can move and substitute songs around as he sees fit during a shift. You can tune in to 88.9 and you'll hear everything from rock and hip-hop to electronic and singer-songwriter jams. Oh yeah, and at least one song from a Milwaukee musician gets played every hour of the day. The other computer always has our text lineup. Listeners can text our studio line to communicate with our DJs, requesting songs, letting them know what they thought of the last track, or just to say hi. All right, last thing, and then we'll get out of your hair, Marcus. When you look into the performance space from here, you'll notice a gap between the two windows. That's because Studio A is a floating studio. That 1.5-foot gap exists on all sides of the studio, creating a perfect environment for sound. Okay, next stop, the record wall. Like we talked about earlier, WYMS used to be a jazz station, so this is our homage to our roots. Nowadays, we keep track of how many times we play a song digitally, but in the YMS Jazz days, they kept track by hand using these stickers on the front of the albums. I've got a Thelonious Monk tribute album here, and as you can see, it got a lot of airplay from 1992 through 1998. Around the corner is Studio B, basically just a smaller version of Studio A. We can be on air from this studio too, and we use it a lot for phone interviews with musicians and recording our weekly podcast. Next, we'll hop right through here into the performance space. This is our performance space and community room. It was designed intentionally when the building was renovated so that we could serve as a community space for people daily through Stone Creek Coffee and in the evenings when we host events. We have a lot going on down here, such as Grace Weber's Music Lab, our monthly music education and open mic program for local high school students, live performances by local artists that we broadcast on our airwaves and on our Facebook page, and Studio Milwaukee sessions, half-hour private concerts with national artists for our Radio Milwaukee members. We also co-program and open up our space to other organizations with missions that align with ours. We like to use this room as much as possible so that our community can connect with us and with each other. This beautiful teal wood you'll see throughout the building is actually barnwood from a barn in Sheboygan County, and this is its original color. We created a wood slatted structure with soft base absorbers between the wood and the brick along the back walls that reflect sound towards the audience. We have sound paneling on the walls, and we sprayed the ceiling with sound insulation foam to reduce the sound pressure between the floor and ceiling. Let's head upstairs to see where we make all of the stuff we just talked about a reality. Welcome to the second floor. This space was designed with collaborative working as the priority. There are some closed office spaces, but most of the space is open so that people can talk directly to one another. This side of the office is home to our development and marketing teams, part of our underwriting team, and our finance, building, and human resources staff. Many of our walls are painted with dry erase paint, not only so we can use less paper, but also so that we can communicate with each other office-wide, like with our monthly event calendar. Right above the calendar, you can see a street sign from our former home on Valete Street. We call these teaming tables, where we can host small meetings, both of which are made from old doors that we've upcycled. Our CD collection is housed on these upcycled pallets and holds the stacks of local and national artists that have been added to our library throughout the years. And this little cozy nook is home to the rest of our underwriting team. Here's our conference room for larger meetings with a beautiful mural that we had painted by Black Paint Studios, a local women-owned creative advocacy agency. This mural has a twin in our green room. This is where bands can come and hang out before and after their sessions downstairs. We have some video games they can play while they're waiting. We also have a shower and laundry facilities for bands to use if they need so. When bands aren't using the space, this serves as a kitchen for our staff. Check out the colorful backsplash. It's made out of all local soda and beer bottle tops. One of our primary funding sources as a nonprofit radio station comes from people just like you. When you become a Radio Milwaukee member, we send you goodies, and all of that packaging and organizing happens in our fulfillment room. This side of the office is home to our music programming and content teams, as well as our executive director and digital director. We have 2 production studios up here for creating our podcast and community stories. We also have a production studio for any videos featured on our website and social media, including a documentary called Invisible Lines that premiered at the Milwaukee Film Festival. That's it for the second floor. Let's head to the roof. This is our rooftop space. It has some beautiful views of our city. We host a few parties up here every year, and the space is also available for organizations to host events as well. It's also a green roof, which we were able to have installed through a grant from the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District. It holds about 1,500 gallons of rainwater, which takes some stress out of our sewer systems and helps us reduce our energy costs and consumption. This mural was painted for us by Zen Castillo with True School, a local organization that aims to use the urban arts as a tool to engage youth. All right, that concludes our tour. Thanks for coming to visit us here at Radio Milwaukee. If you're interested in learning more about how we're fulfilling our mission of creating a more inclusive and engaged Milwaukee, or if you'd like to become a member of Radio Milwaukee, just visit our website, radiomilwaukee.org. See you on the radio.